in later years. Then under John O'Mahony, really stylish victory in '98. You know, they beat Kildare in that great colourful final.
Galway are the All-Ireland football champions for 1998. What a day!
Mayo, on the other hand, they seem to know nothing but heartbreak.
So as the saying goes, the backs go back, the forwards go forward, and now we're just minutes away from the start of the replayed 1996 All-Ireland football final.
You can't help looking at the story of Gaelic football without, you know, feeling pain that the Mayo people feel. 51 and 52, they had that fantastic 2 in a row. But subsequently, every time they come near Croke Park, it's painful. And finals in particular.
It's a terrific setting here at Croke Park. 66,000 people waiting for the start. So away we go. A huge leap in the air by Jimmy McGuinness straight away. All of the players, bar Tommy Dowd, incidentally, wearing gloves.
At that stage, there was a feeling in Mayo at the time that the physicality that Meath brought to their type of game at that time, that Mayo needed to stand up to it. I felt that year, when you analyse, look back on it, I suppose Tyrone felt that Meath were over the top in the semi-final, and I think there was a big talking point after that. It was even on the Marion Finucane show, the Joe Duffy show of now. There was a lot of phone calls and everything else being made about the game. So I think Mayo felt that Meath, you know, roughened up Tyrone a bit, and they weren't going to do that to them. In the 1996 All-Ireland final, Mayo and Meath, I was actually doing co-commentating with RT with Gerard Canning on that match.
In '96, against Meath, Mayo should have won. And the replay was famous for the fight on Tincident, where a row erupted.
Attention early on, overflowing. My goodness. It really is ridiculous. Well, they all got involved. And some of them are still involved, just to the right of picture.
And the row was extraordinary, because I think there was about 27 or 28 of the 30 players involved in the row. And the row moved from to the right of the goal, back across the field. It was all over the place. Everybody was involved in the row.
I think that the referee is going to have to take some action there. That was disgraceful scenes. Nearly every player in the pitch was fighting. And in All-Ireland final, we don't need them scenes. And I think you see the referee and the two linesmen now talking about it. They're going to have to take action with some people off. There was a lot of fisticuffs thrown there, and they're going to have to take action and take it early now.
I actually talked to Pat McGinney about it afterwards and asked him. I mean, the big talking point was the send-off of Liam McHale, and McHale feels very hurt about it even to this day. But McGinney said, as a referee, that he said when he went on, he could have sent anybody up, but he felt that he was going to send John McDermott and Liam McHale off. But he went to his umpire, the late Francie McMahon, who was a great umpire for him, and he said Colm Coyle has to go, and the linesman as well said Coyle was the man. It just shows you that, you know, replays can be dangerous, you know, because players get to know each other too well, and some of these things can get nasty in replays. Maybe that's why, you know, it's better to have extra time in a game. Maybe the extra time the first day might have been different. Mayo might have won the All-Ireland.
And they're both being sent off, it seems. Oh, sensation of sensations here. Both sides are down to 14 in the very early stages of the final.
Liam McHale sending off was an absolute kick in the solar plexus for that Mayo team. He was a huge player for them and a very sporting player. And I think all these years later, Mayo would still look on the kind of randomness of picking two players out of that brawl and sending them off.
Here's Brendan Riley. Will he be the All-Ireland final hero? Trying to set up a chance. The angle shot, and it's gone over the bar! Brendan Riley has kicked his first point of the match.
And again, despite Liam McHale's loss, Mayo ended up, you know, just losing by 1 point in the last minute of the game, the last seconds of the game, and certainly, you know, that still, you know, resonates with Mayo people as I think my own feeling on that is that Mayo would have gone on to win more All-Irelands if that one had been got in '96.
Back from Hall, and John Casey taking it out towards Tom Riley, the substitute. The block there, superbly executed, and it's all over. Meath have won the All-Ireland.
But in the wake of it, there was an interesting sequel to it in that I had a phone-in programme on Monday nights called Sports Call, where people would ring in about the weekend matches. And obviously, after this big, huge fight, and it was the huge talking point. So every call I got on the Monday night was from somebody in Mayo, you know, Brian in Bahola and Charlie in Castlebar. They were all ringing in, Seamus and Swinford, how disgraceful Meath were. I just want to say it was absolute disgrace, and the trophy, that they shouldn't be given the trophy for all that fight was outrageous. And it was on, Mayo people complaining about it. And eventually, anyway, a week later, and we're starting on the programme again, the first couple of calls are from Mayo complaining about how disgraceful and how dirty Meath were. And I said, lads, come on, we have to move on now to the Mayo people. But it was just a series of complaints. But it led to a joke going around Meath. What was the difference between the Mayo football team and a porno movie? And the answer was you'd hear more moaning and groaning from the Mayo football crowd than you would. But that probably summed up one of the great heartaches for Mayo because they were so close.
And it's to Meath, and it's to Tommy Dowd.
It's a tragedy for Mayo football that all these years later they still haven't won the All-Ireland since 1951. And they would look on 96, you know, I know they lost the final in 97 as well, but 96, they would look on it as definitely one that got away.